Hey everyone, I wanted to address what type of diet I follow. I believe there's a little bit of confusion. I've always followed more of a clean eating lifestyle. This means that I try to stay away from processed foods. I eat when I'm hungry and I stop when I'm full. I make sure that my diet is a balance of protein, carbs, and fats. If you see my vlogs, you know that my diet consists of a high protein, higher fat, and a moderate carb variation of foods. This type of diet works for me. When I compete, I eat 5 to 6 meals a day. In the beginning, it consists of higher protein, higher carbs, and then I gradually lower the carbohydrate intake. This is known as the old school bodybuilding diet. It's always worked well for me. I always add in 1 cheat meal a week, and if I ever felt starved or hungry, I added in more food. In my off season or when I compete, I've never starved myself. Because I don't believe in starving yourself. I just add in more foods, but I make sure it's the right quality foods to add in. I don't think that my way is the only way. I don't think macro counting is the only way. Everyone has their own preference and what works well for them. I do want to try clean macro counting because I've never done it, and it's something I can share my experience with you guys. So I wanted to bring in some macro masters, which is Jessica Revelo and Aaron Shoemake. So I've always been a clean eater. Aaron is if it fits your macros, and Jessica is a middleman, which is a clean macro eater.
So those of you who know, I've actually competed in 31 bikini shows, being on the Olympia stage and also pro shows.
Yeah.
Every stage as a competitor, so I know about when Heidi talks about the old school way of bodybuilding, the diets that coaches have competitors on now. So after doing about 30 shows, I realized that something was wrong. I wasn't building muscle, I wasn't having enough calories, I never tracked anything. Since we started dating about 6 months ago and I seen how he tracked his macros and still stayed lean, very lean actually, so I got curious as to what counting macros meant. To me, counting macros, or IIFYM, if it fits your macros, for the clean eaters and for the competitors, we look at that as the typical your Pop-Tarts and eating donuts whenever you want, and so that's not something I believed in, because I believe in clean eating and I love the way it makes me feel. I don't like the way bad foods make me feel, or foods filled with sugar and stuff. I eat that moderately, but not on a daily basis. So basically, I tried the macro eating, and basically I thought, oh, I can eat all the bad foods. And so my body, I started tracking my macros, but my body wasn't responding the way I wanted it to. So then I stopped that, and I started eating clean again, which was not tracking any of my macros. Then I went into my show, came in lean with the clean eating, but still not tracking. But I actually just started with another show, and I realized that I need to know what I'm putting in my body in order to maintain muscle and cut the fat out. How am I supposed to know how much cardio I'm supposed to be doing if I don't know how many calories I'm taking in? Same thing with working out. So in the 4 years that I've been competing, I haven't been able to build muscle. I do come in lean to shows, but I'm not able to build muscle. Me and Heidi being all natural athletes, that's really hard for a woman to do, to gain muscle and cut the fat. So I realized that I needed to track my proteins, my fats, and my carbs. But I didn't want to eat the bad foods. So right now I'm eating clean, but I'm also allowing myself to have cheat meals, even if it's once a day. If I don't meet my macros, as long as I'm eating 90% clean, my body will still respond in a good way. But it's basically having a balanced, clean eating method, but also knowing exactly what's going in my body as far as the calories, how much calories I'm burning, so that I'm always hitting my numbers every single day to know that I'm building mass and also losing the fat.
So the message I basically want to bring to this video is that macros and IIFYM kind of have a bad rap when it comes to fitness. Some people don't fully understand macros, and maybe that's just because of the reputation they carry with them. Macros, a lot of people believe that the reputation is we eat ice cream, we eat donuts and sugar all day, and then we pile on top maybe a burger. And that's really not how macros are done. The whole process of counting macros is to know exactly what you're putting in your body, and also to be able to track your protein, carbs, and fats. So you know where you're at, you know where you're going, and you have a plan of action to go for that. Now, counting macros, a macronutrient could be carbs, fat, or protein. So with that being said, macronutrients are in clean food and are in dirty food. They're in all foods. And by tracking them, you can actually eat clean, you can eat dirty, or you can eat a mix of both, whatever works for you, all at the same time while tracking. You know where you are, and you know your goal, and then where you're going to go with that by tracking those macros. That's kind of the message I want to bring together, that you can eat clean, you can eat dirty, you can also eat what works for you, and if you track your macros, you also have a plan of action and kind of a roadmap to get where you want to go. So something else we want to touch on this video is, where did macros come from, and why do some people eat clean, why do some people do macros? And we kind of really believe that, we were talking about it earlier, and the meal planning and the whole clean eating all kind of came from the old school bodybuilding ways. A lot of coaches nowadays kind of have brought that into the light, and a lot of people believe that the only way to diet down for a show is really to eat clean, eat 5 to 6 meals a day, your chicken breast, rice, and broccoli, or whatever your meal plan has on it. And that's not just the only way. What we want to open everyone's eyes to is, you can eat that, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that at all. There's nothing wrong with eating clean all the time, but we're all human. We have cravings, and we want to be able to satisfy those cravings without feeling guilty at the end of the day. Now with macros, if you're actually tracking those clean meals, you're dieting down for a show, for example, and you want to maybe have a candy bar or something like that, or you want to have a little bit of sugar, you want to have a little bit of a cheat, you can still do that and fit that into your macros. That way you're still eating clean, you're on point with your goals, and by fitting those macros in, at the end of the day, you're still okay without feeling guilty, you're on track with your goals. And a lot of people get that mixed up because IIFYM, they think that they eat dirty food all day, and I think a reason is a lot of us see people post, flexible dieters, for instance, or is one name for them, IIFYM, or macro eaters. They'll post pictures of their candy bars or their burgers, and they put that spotlight on that. They highlight their one cheat meal for the day on that, and they'll post those pictures on social media. So us out there, or the clean eaters out there as well, see those pictures and they really think, oh, that's all they eat. All they eat is donuts, all they eat is cheeseburgers. I don't want to diet like that. And that's not really the case, because most of those people still eat a good amount of clean foods. At the same time, they like to highlight or show off that they can still eat cheat foods along the way. And that's really it. It's really to help everyone find a balance between the both, because you can eat clean. Clean eating works. IIFYM works. Flexible dieting works. It all works. I myself have done paleo, intermittent fasting, clean eating. I've done it all for about 6 years now, but all the while I've been tracking my macros. Therefore, I know what I'm doing and kind of where I'm going. And everybody has their own way of dieting. Everybody has their own way that they prefer to eat. IIFYM and counting your macros is really a way to track your progress along the way. If something doesn't work, maybe you're not getting lean enough fast enough, you need to drop your carbs a little bit. You know exactly where you are, and you know exactly what you need to adjust. That way, if you're just eating clean, you're not really tracking your macros. Maybe you feel like you need to take away a little bit of carbs, maybe you feel like you need to lower your calories a little bit, but if you have an actual number right in front of you, you can take maybe 25 grams of carbs away a day. Maybe you can take 200 calories away and start cutting slowly, along the way, so you don't stall in fat loss. But that way, by tracking whether you eat clean, which is totally fine, or you eat completely dirty, it's your choice on what you want to do and what you want to track. But it's just for everyone to find a balance and to know that it's not one way or the other. They're all right, but as long as you're tracking along the way, that'll at least give you the benefit to know where you are and kind of where you can make changes along the way.
Well, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Aaron and Jessica both have a YouTube channel, so I will link them both in the video description. Thanks for watching. Bye guys.